Hi, friends. Welcome to Lotus in the Light. My name's Jennifer. I tried to record this little digital short and I just couldn't get this message into 3 minutes. So um, I'm going to record it here and I'm going to roll with it. When I came out of meditation this morning, I had a message from Spirit. And the message was the world requires hierarchy, the universe dissolves it. So we are in some seemingly really tumultuous times in this world. And I just want to try to give hope to those that are watching this video that it feels bad. It in the vibrational frequency of the human collective, it's creating a lot of fear, a lot of fear is the best way to describe it, right? And then fear then goes on to provoke a lot of other behaviors and actions of us trying to gain some control around the situation to make it better. But our attempts to do that come through hierarchical structures and systems that cannot withstand the changes that the human collective is going through. They must fall. And that feels scary, but it's actually a beautiful thing. What we're doing is we're moving into life. Um, we're seeing exactly what Jesus emulated on the cross, which is that death cannot hold us down, right? That there is life after death, and we have been living in this vibrational frequency of death. I'll even use the term evil, but it's not in the same way that many of us think of it. But life is really living in full expression is an acronym that Suzanne Giesman uses that I like, or life in full expression, LIFE. Full expression is perfect love. And so we haven't been living in perfect love, but we're coming to that. But to get to that, a lot of these old systems have to fall away. And the hierarchical structure is one of them. And, it's through no fault of our own. We are born into a hierarchical structure, right? You're an infant born into a family with parents who are hierarchically, they're in charge, right? They are smarter than you. They have more wisdom, more experience, more knowledge, more capabilities than you do as an infant and toddler and child. And so they're teaching you, they're showing you the way, they're opening up your eyes to how life works until you get to a point in an age where you then can go off on your own. So even that hierarchical structure falls away. And sometimes this is a painful point in a lot of our lives, right? Where as a child or as a parent, like you're ready for that freedom, but the parent doesn't want to let it go, right? They want to hold on to the hierarchical structure because they think it's in your best nature, but it's not. That must fall away. You must let that go. And if you don't, it will probably destroy that relationship, right? Many of you may have experienced that before, or perhaps if you're listening right now, it's because you're experiencing it right now. You have to let that go. And where that comes from, it comes from this idea and this belief that's a lower vibrational understanding of the universe that says we need people in charge that are going to help keep order where there's chaos. That's going to help keep people safe. We need people that have high morals or people that have lots of resources that can help support the community or the country or the whatever, right? Or we have all these ideas in our head, or who have a lot of loyalty to one group or another. We have ideas in our head of who should be at the top of that hierarchical structure. But the reality is hierarchy was never the way. And the system of hierarchy cannot withstand perfect love. So as we take this journey of remembering who we are, we come into the human experience forgetting who we are, forgetting our divinity, forgetting our power, forgetting our oneness and our unity. And we come in as this kind of separate thing and we're figuring it out. And as we figure it out and we draw closer to perfect love, we become more enlightened, we gain greater understanding. And as that happens, those old structures can no longer withstand. The structure of hierarchy cannot withstand the pressure of perfect love. It simply can't. It must fall away as we as a collective raise our vibrational frequency. So there's like an average collective vibrational frequency out there, and it continues to raise because people are becoming more enlightened, more aware. Their eyes are being opened more to love and unity. And as that happens, those old things must fall away. It feels disruptive. It feels painful. It feels like your 16-year-old teenager who sees freedom coming and wants it now and right. And there's a tug of war of control and power. But here's what happens. As you learn that there's nothing outside of you that can impact your life, all of your life and your circumstances are directly related to what's going on within you. And once you realize that nothing outside of you holds any power over you, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. The only thing that matters is what's going on within. And more people are starting to realize that. And as they do, this structure is falling away. For those that haven't realized it yet, though, it feels like we're losing control and we're losing the war. Things feel like they're getting worse before they get better. And they are, in a sense, because that's everybody scrambling to maintain the control, right? It's falling apart, it's falling apart. But every system, even our religious systems where we have created a hierarchy, none of them were intended to have a hierarchy. None of them, the hierarchy was necessary, again, at those low vibrational frequencies where we were out of sync with ourselves, where we didn't remember that we had the power within. Therefore, we needed something to emulate, something outside of us to emulate the power, to remind us of what we have, to draw us back in. I like to think of it like a Bob Ross painting. That's what popped in my head this morning as I was trying to record the digital short, but it was I didn't have enough time to get it all in there. But have you ever watched Bob Ross paint a picture, or any artist, and you see something beautiful unfolding and you're like, oh my goodness, look at this landscape with the sunset, and this is so perfect. Excuse me. And then all of a sudden he starts throwing like black paint on there and start like really janking it up. And you're like, what are you doing? It's so perfect the way that it is. Or maybe it's not perfect, but it's close to perfect. You just need to add a little, some stars up here or something, and it would have been perfect. And that's how we feel about our hierarchical system. Like, this system is designed to work and it can work. We just need to get the right people at the top. We just need to get the right programs, social programs in place, or the right laws in place, or the right whatever, right? That's what we think. But when Bob Ross is all done, the painting's even better. It's even more beautiful. It's even more perfect in the way that art is imperfectly perfect, right? And flawed. And there's lots of little oopsies and happy accidents, right? But it's even more perfect. And that's what's happening right now. A whole bunch of happy accidents are happening right now that is shaking the world up in every sense. I mean, literally, the earth is shaking up. It must dispel any of that low vibrational energy. Similarly, our political systems, our religious systems, every system out there, our media, all of it is being shaken up because as our collective vibrational frequency raises, those systems that are not a vibrational match must fall away. And we want to cling to them, but we need to release them and let them go, because what's on the other side is so much better. It's so much better. And it's exactly, again, I'll say what Jesus emulated at the cross. It's like, death cannot hold us down. And when I talked about evil before, I don't mean it in the sense of good versus bad. What I mean is evil is live spelled backwards. And so and devil is lived spelled backwards, right? So those are really representing our, a life, a world where we were living in bondage. And on the backside of everything that's going on right now is a life in freedom. Life will continue on. We win. We win. We don't die, right? So, okay, I'm going to leave it right there. That was a really important message that came through this morning. Let's close with a card. I feel like I've been using this a lot, but this feels like a loving words from Jesus moment. And I know not everybody that listens is rooted in a background of Christianity, but this isn't about Christianity. Jesus, like Buddha, like the Mother Mary, like Mary Magdalene, like I'm saying all these ones from the Bible. Sorry. Um, uh, who I said, there's many ascended masters outside of the Christian religion. Jesus just happens to be one of them. One that I am particularly connected to because of my faith upbringing. And so we're gonna, oh, there it is. We're gonna hear a word from Jesus. John 16:24, and it says, ask and you shall receive, that your joy may be full. Okay, listen to what he's saying. You're asking. This is exactly how the universe works. This is exactly how law of attraction works. And this is exactly why you're seeing what you're seeing in the world today. Because when you ask for something better than what you're seeing or experiencing today, the universe is unbiased. The universe says, okay, great, we're going to give that to you. And it's there, it's ready for the taking, but you have to be vibrational match for it. And so then what the universe starts doing is giving you more of what is in your life that's keeping you from experiencing that which you have asked for. And then as you recognize those things that are standing between you and what you ask for, you can start to do the inner work, the inner healing, and that inner healing raises your vibration, which then collectively, as we do this work together, raises the collective vibration, which ultimately is going to have the impact on the global, universal human experience that we're experiencing, and bring us into newer and higher levels of consciousness, closer and closer to perfect love. And we're just ever expanding. That's our journey here, forgetting who we are, remembering who we are, and through that experience of contrast, because when we're remembering, we're experiencing a lot of what we aren't, a lot of pain and suffering. That's not who we are by design. We're wellness, wholeness, but this experience is allowing us to experience those things that we are not, which, and those experiences just continue to help us expand and expand and expand. So perfect love isn't a finite ending. It just continues to grow and become more and bigger and better. So um, ask and you shall receive. And this is what when I was trying to do the short video, I was trying to tie it to the Joyride experience. And because in this face of turmoil, the end of the story really is joy. And if we can just stay focused on our own personal joy, and follow the breadcrumbs to our own personal joy, we ultimately, without trying to change the world, just by following our own inner joy, is exactly how we heal the world. That's the answer. So ask and you shall receive, that your joy may be made full. Thank you, Jesus, for bringing this back to the joyride, what I was trying to do all along. So amen. Thank you guys for joining in. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day. Peace out.